particularly useful for the migrated issue, and the other one is going to be useful for that, but in particular useful for the new issues that are created with RDrive. We'll allow for some QA and next steps. We have proposed migration expected outcomes, time permitting. We may not get into that, so let's just get through. We want you to take away a better understanding of what is the differences and advantages of moving to RDrive. Okay, so a little bit about SnagR's legacy. SnagR was founded in 2008. The code base has been revised many times, but we were running up against the limitation of the technology. And so at some point, SnagR determined, this was probably about 4.5 years ago, that they need to do a complete rewrite on a new technology base. And so they've done that. In Malaysia, we haven't opened a new project outside of SP Setia on SnagR in the past 2 years. Everything's been moved to RDrive. So the advantage technically is it's the state-of-the-art technology. It's all based on Microsoft. We got Microsoft Azure servers. It's incredibly fast, and most importantly, it's sustainable. So we don't have to worry about any aging code base or technology failure. We also designed it, since it's designed to be a superset of SnagR, one of the first priorities is a high degree of compatibility between SnagR and RDrive. From a benefit to SP Setia, you're going to see improved management. And by that, you're going to see more effective usable dashboards. You're going to see controls over what can be edited, when it can be edited, and enforce the processes so processes don't get skipped. From the user perspective, it is going to greatly eliminate a lot of the spam that they might be seeing through subscription notifications on things that don't have anything to do with them. So the ease of use is going to be much better when you go into the browser or you go into the mobile app and you look at a drawing. On the drawing, you'll see both the issues and the inspections in the same glance. You're not going to be switching between two different modes. And improved capabilities. So there's a lot of improved capabilities, which I'll get to. Okay. One of the most important key concepts is the idea of teams and assignments. So teams are created with unique profiles and permissions. So right now, in SnagR, we just have main contractors and users, and the users are set by the user, in terms of what you can add, what you can edit, and a lot of it is form-based, so there's some limitations with that. So when we go over into RDrive, we're creating teams like client developer, main contractor, subcontractor, main contractor, and administrator. And then we have workflows on issues and inspections to decide who can control the edits at any given stage. So if you have a subcontractor that's requesting an RFI, the subcontractor can only fill out the fields that the subcontractor is allowed to at that particular stage. When it's in draft mode, he'll only be able to see what is available to him, and none of the other users will even see that subcontractor. Therefore, a subcontractor could create in draft mode a dozen or more requests for inspection, and with more as placekeepers to remind the subcontractor or the main contractor, if he's creating it, that I need to fill out this, and when it's ready to go, I can just hit submit. When I hit submit, it's automatically assigned to the next person in the workflow change. And when it's submitted, that field is locked. I can't go in and say, okay, I I submitted it to have the inspection today at 3 o'clock, but I need to move it till tomorrow at 2 p.m. The subcontractor will not be able to make that modifications. Now we'll talk about managers who can override that, but generally the idea here is you don't want users or teams making changes to what they've already submitted. The other thing is, in the event of a rejected or failed close, the inspection or the issue is automatically reassigned back to the original team who's responsible for fixing it. So if I am a subcontractor, I open up an RFI, the inspection is done, and at some point in the inspection, that inspection is failed, then I get notified in the app that that inspection has been reassigned to me or my team. And now I have the ability and the responsibility to open up the inspection with a feature we call optional forms. And so then the optional form can be filled out. It can be auto-filled by the subcontract. In other words, it can fill out all the fields that the subcontract had originally filled out, and then they can resubmit it. Now, the advantage is you're not overriding the reason for failure and getting a final record that says, okay, this process took a month to do, but everything checked. It doesn't really tell you why it failed or when it was resubmitted. By close failing an inspection, now when I print out that report, I can see the original failed inspection with the new inspection, with all the workflows and comments and history of that. So now I've got a perfect record that shows the reason why it took a month rather than a week is it failed twice, and there was some remedial work, and that's all captured in RDrive. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about these just yet, but these are the key features that are unique to RDrive that we're going to cover and we're going to demonstrate. Okay, first of all, fast, flexible downloads. So when you first log into a project, you have some options. You can either go into offline mode, which is how SnagR works now, and what we fully recommend for anybody who is doing day-to-day work with their project. You want to get offline. It takes all the data on there. But if you're, let's say you're a product quality manager, or you're a consulting engineer or architect, or maybe even a GM that just wants to kind of inspect something, you can select online mode. And so online mode takes up a lot less real estate on your mobile device. So let's say if you're on a project and it's got like 4 gigabytes of data, you might say, okay, I don't want to download that because I've got 12 other projects that I would want to synchronize on my mobile device, let's say. And so I select online mode, and now I can download project assets, which basically synchronizes everything fully. And I can see all of the issues, the defects. But when I move offline and I no longer have the 3G or Wi-Fi connection, I can see all of the issues. I can see all of the inspections. I can see who it's assigned to and what has been done on it. But I won't see the photos. So if I'm on site and I want to look at the photos, then I need to get a 3G, 4G, 5G, or Wi-Fi connections. Then I can look at the photos again. Okay. The other option is lazy load. Lazy load is, let's say I've got a 50-story tower. I'm an architect, right? And I've been told to look at the 25th floor, that there's some issues on the 25th floor that I need to look at. If I select lazy load, I can navigate to the 25th floor. And now as I'm moving around the 25th floor, it's loading the issues and inspections and photos. But it's not going to load, let's say, the 26th floor or the 27th floor. Okay. In general, the people who are working on projects day to day, they're not going to use the offline mode, but online mode is useful for somebody who needs to access it, independently. We've got projects that have some 50,000 issues and inspections. And if you're a consulting engineer and you just want to look at a particular issue that's been raised to you, it's a bit of a hassle to download a mega project like that. Okay. I mentioned teams. Teams are set up with specific permissions. And so administrators, client developers, consultants in this particular demo, this is our demo, this isn't yours. They can have specific roles and responsibilities. So subcontractor architecture is only going to be able to see and take action on architectural issues and processes. The same is true with structure, M&E, etc. The other thing I'd mention is you can be a member of more than one team. Since this is a demo site and this is my device, I can be a member of every team, and I am. But if you're a main contractor and you're managing subcontractors, you might want to be a member of the main contractor team and the subcontractor team. After all, they work for you, right? And so if you're seeing that issues have been assigned by you to the subcontractor, and the subcontractor isn't taking action on it, one, you can comment, send them a note, and two, let's say the subcontractor tells you he's fixed that issue. You can go in as the subcontractor team and mark it as being fixed rather than wait for him to get back from sick leave. Okay. When you log into the mobile device, you're going to be, first of all, you're going to see synchronize. And if I see the last time it was synchronized is Sunday, March 23rd, then that's going to tell me it's already Thursday of the next week. I should not start editing straight away. So I hit that button and now I synchronize. And that will show maybe some things change. Maybe if I'm a main contractor, it'll be 26 assigned issues and one still assigned to me. If I click on that, I can drill down and I can see I have 9 architectural defects, 9 structural, etc. All these are listed here. And unlike notifications, these are persistent. So if an issue gets assigned to the main contractor, let's say it's a mechanical electrical defect, then that mechanical defect doesn't go away until the main contractor opens it up and says, it's not me, it's not my defect, or I fixed it. That's it. They can't change it. So there is basically no reason why any user on any team would not be able to be accountable for this. Now you'll notice one of the items says me is assigned. So let's say if I happen to be responsible for electrical issues and an electrical issue defect is raised up to our team, everybody on our team that's responsible for, let's say, mechanical electrical is able to fix it. But I know that Shukri in particular is the one who's encountered this before, so I want to let him know that I'm assigning it to him. So all this does is it lets the person know that I'm expecting you to take care of it. Any questions so far? Again, we're going to show you all this in real time on an app. But
Any question, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Darul, just now you have question?
I'm sorry?
No. I just rejoined that because
okay.
my line breaking.
All right. Okay. Okay, you can go on, David. Just checking with the team if they have questions just now.
Okay, great. Okay, so here's the other one is, and this is an important one, conditional editing and forward-only workflows. Okay, so in SnagR, we restrict access based at the form level. And that's why we have like multi-form inspections. We have requests for inspections that come from the contractor, and the contractor isn't allowed to modify anything on the checklist. So we give them access to the request for inspection form, but we don't give them access to the checklist. So that's caused us to create, or I should say us collectively, to create a lot of inspections where you've got an inspection form, which gives the contractor the ability to edit that form, but not the ability to edit the subsequent forms. Okay.
David, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So based on this page, right? So the forms are actually image file, which we fill in through your apps, right?
Yes.
This for RDrive, this is similar to SnagR last time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
With one difference, and I'll show it in a moment. You'll see next to the draft, there's another icon. That is what we call a digital input view, right? So right now, this is a familiar form. And let's say I've got a site daily report, and site daily report, and you're looking at it on a very small mobile device, and you're finding it difficult to kind of tap all the fields. You can click the button to the right, and it will give you a digital input view. And the only fields that you'll see on the digital input view are the ones that you're allowed to edit at that stage. So you can imagine if you've got a very expensive checklist, you'd have a lot of digital forms to kind of scroll through. But instead, if I open up this at this stage, this would be a request for inspection. I would open this up. Some of the forms would be pre-filled, and others could be edited. You can see the red arrows are edited. Those are the ones I have to fill. The green ones are the one I'm allowed to fill. And you see in draft mode, I'm not able to check any of the checklist items. Okay, so I finish my edits, and now I can see when I check on the status, I double click on draft, it tells me it's not yet synchronized, and then I change the form status to request submitted. And now this goes to the next person who's responsible. So this would be the client developer in this scenario. And so what I see once I submit that is that the fields that were highlighted in colors are now locked. I can't go back in and change the contractor sign off to somebody else on my team. I can't go back and change the deck because now this is under the control of the next team, which is the client developer. And now the client developer, when they open up their mobile device and they synchronize it, they'll see one more inspection has been assigned to their team. And when they open it up, they're going to be able to edit the fields like the employer representative sign off and complete the checklist and then change the workflow again. So this is a rather important concept. So I just want to make sure everybody's clear on how this works.
Can you highlight the difference just now is basically which one, meaning in terms of capability?
Yeah. Okay. So the capability right now is if you open up an RFI, let's say timber decking RFI, so the contractor can fill out any field on this form. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Shukri, they can even fill out the inspection response, even though it can be overridden by the client developer. So they can fill out any of these fields. And then but they're not going to be able to edit any of the fields on the other forms because those forms are locked. But if let's say I fill out mistakenly all these fields and I actually sign for the main contractor and I'm not the main contractor, I'm the subcontractor, Then when this goes to the subcontractor is going to go, hey, this guy just signed for me, and he also said the inspection passed. We haven't even done the inspection. So I can unclick that and then correct it. So in this case with RDrive, we're not even allowing people to make mistakes. We're not allowing people to fill out fields that they're not allowed to fill out. So that's what conditional editing means. We're giving you the ability to edit on the condition that your editing is only applies to the permissions. Okay, so by the same token, and we'll talk about this in a moment, if you have a multi-form inspection, let's say setting out and level inspection form, where you got form 1, form 2, form 3, form 4, you have this situation where the first form can be closed, passed, and then you open up the second form, and that can be closed, fail, and then you have to go back in and fix that particular form. So basically what you do is you say, okay, it failed because of the grid and dimension. And so if I fail this, then it needs to be re-edited to pass. And so you fail that inspection, the client developer, whoever's doing this inspection, verifies that it was corrected, and now they can proceed to click pass and change the workflow again. But in doing so, it's missing the steps that that were followed by the team, and it's erasing the original failure. The only way you're going to see it is in the workflow. That was, so in other words, if I print this report, I can see this was first inspection failed, and then second inspection pass. And if there is no comment, I really don't have much clue in terms of what was failed and why it was failed. And so RDrive does a much better job of capturing information. So every time you change something, as you can see here, you can add comments. But let's say if you have another issue where you've assigned a defect to a main contractor to fix, and now that issue is late, you can say it's been late for like a month now. And so you can't send an email notification again because you've already assigned it to them. You've already sent the original notice, but at any time you can go in and you can add a comment, and you can direct a comment back to the person who's responsible.
So, sorry, David.
Yeah.
This one you can show by through demo, or you'll be showing
Everything. I'm just showing screenshots,
okay,
right? Because I think after this.
Okay, then I think it will be much clearer. I'm not sure maybe everyone understand, but there are some missing point for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll just continue. So here's the idea of optional forms, right? So with a lot of inspections, you'll have photo pages. For example, we have some customers with SnagR have, let's say for an NCR, they might have 4 photo pages that are permanently attached. So if those photo pages are never used, then the photo page, blank photo pages are there. With optional forms, if I want to, let's say there could be like an installation guide for door frames, right? I can put that as an optional form, and at any time, anybody on the project team can simply add, a photo page with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 photo pages. You can add multiple photo pages, and you can attach any other form to it, and that becomes a permanent part of the record. Okay, we don't have this updated, but I'm going to fix this in the deck I sent you. So if you have a optional form, and I think Shukri is going to show this, if let's say you go through the process of the setting out, and at some point I fail the inspection, I can fail the inspection as the main contractor, and it gets reverted back to the subcontractor to fix the defect, right? But if it goes beyond me, it goes beyond the main contractor, to say it goes to the consultant or client, and they reject it, they can straight away just fail the inspection, in which case the failed inspection goes back to the subcontractor. It's noted as a failure, and now the subcontractor can and must reopen a new inspection. Now, the advantage of reopening the inspection is the failed and the past inspection will have the same ID. And so when I print out the report for the inspection, I'm going to see both the original failed inspection, why it failed, what happened, what comments were there, any attachment that was on the failed inspection, such as a defect or a photo. And now I reopen a new inspection. I can then, as a subcontractor, autofill it and just change the date, add a comment that I fixed the issue, and now the inspection can go all the way through and get closed pass. And so when I look at the record, it will show the original inspection was closed failed and the new inspection was closed pass with the whole workflow history. Okay. There's kind of a lot on this, but this is just to show comments and sharing. So as I mentioned, at any given time, you can add a comment. So here you've got the IOW is rejected. And so now let's say I'm part of the team and I want to share this. And I'm going to share it with 3 people. I'm going to share it with David. I'm going to share it with Shukri. But I'm also going to share it with the floor manager. And the floor manager in this particular scenario isn't part of the workflow. He's not part of any team. So if I share it with him or her, she's going to see that the railing needs to be fixed and recommend a better way forward, right? So I said this is a recurring issue. And so when I send the comment, those comments can be viewed in the app, and you'll also get an email notification of the comment. Now, the important thing to note here is that the client 52 is not part of the team, and therefore, when I share it with the client 52, he's going to get an email notification. He'll get a notification in the app. He's not allowed to do anything other than read only. So if I send it to the client, to the floor manager, the floor manager can add a comment back.
Okay, so let me continue on this. Okay, so on the comment and process sharing, actually is more to the how you communicate with other user within the apps RDrive itself. Okay, assuming that you're using a WhatsApp, right? If you have a WhatsApp and you always communicate WhatsApp, but in RDrive you can convert that WhatsApp into the form itself. For example, you have a setting out form that which is have a problem and you want to communicate with the main contractor. Okay, so if you want to communicate with the main contractor, you can use this comment part, and it will record this conversation as part of the report. Okay, when you download the report and want to see what are the conversation between you and between main contractor, you can see all along way of the record from this conversation. So it's not printed on the form, but it printed separately as a conversation. So that's a comment part that we have.
Okay.
You are mute, Mr. David. You are mute. Still on mute.
Okay, very good. You can see me, but you can't hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So apologies for that. Okay. So continuing on. We mentioned earlier flexible data inputs with conditional editing. Okay, so here's an example. And at this particular workflow stage, it's been checked and verified by the main contractor. So that's been assigned to the the client developer to approve, or the consultant, right? And this is the final step. And in this, I believe this is a consultant. The consultant can fill out the signature, can put in the name, the date, and fill out all these red boxes. And if I say, okay, I've got a small mobile device, I don't want to look at a PDF form, I can click on the box to the right of checked and verified, and now I see it in digital format. And it's only going to show me those fields that are available for me to edit at that point. So if I want to look at it in this way, I can do it in two forms. So one of the feedbacks we've had from customers is some people don't want to work with PDF forms. They just want to have questions and answers. So if I've got like a very detailed checklist, on this might have like 20 different pages, but at the initial stage or at the final stage, there's only one or two pages to fill out. And again, it's going to tell you at this stage that it's 88% complete, which means there is going to be some additional fields I need to fill out before I can change the workflow.
David, one question. Okay, this because I can see that you are form based, right? Meaning whatever so-called communication there will be based on forms, which is PDF. So is it how to say? Is it like compulsory? It has to be like that, or it's actually an option, meaning it can be fully digital. Or
Well,
in your system, it must be based on form first, then digital is supporting.
Well, I mean, I'll let Shukri chime in, but my first comment, I just wanted to clarify, this is a forms-based system, right? So it's based on the records that you have in the system. And if I go into a digital input, let's say on the digital input that I'm checking inspection passed with remedial work, and then I sign it, when I synchronize this, I'm going to see those issues in digital form, but I'm also going to see it in a PDF form. And so when you, at the end of the day, let's say somebody does 100% digital, it's going to fill automatically back into the PDF form, so it'll be consistent with all the other forms. Or if somebody only uses the PDF form, it will be filled out. So both of them will be identical. It just it's agnostic, if you will, on which way to do it. Shukri, do you want to answer the question about can we do digital form only?
Yep, can do it. Okay, first thing first, my comment on the PDF form. The PDF form actually most likely I use to cater the ISO issue. Okay, most of our client or other client inside our Malaysia have the ISO for each company, right? And the PDF form is used to be to handle the ISO issue. Okay, so that's my first comment about the PDF form. Okay, secondly about the PDF form, once we digitize the form, right, and then we sorting out what are the field need to be shown as a digital, that's easy part because we already digitize the form, and then we just reuse back on the format. We are just to sorting out the field. Okay, and the third comment for me, yes, you can do without PDF form. You can do without PDF form.
So the PDF form is an option.
Yes.
The system can be fully digital also.
Yes, but when we talk about the fully digital, okay, what's happened is when you want to print out the report, how is look like the report view? Okay, that's need to be discussed on that part, because if you print on PDF, on fully digital, the print report only drag and drop. So which field you want to show? For example, you have a A4 file, right? And then you just drag and drop the information that you want, including the picture.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing something like a site diary or site daily report, where you're trying to check, your manpower equipment, whether it's idle or operating, you can do that in a digital form, and you may want to do that because it'll allow you to kind of scroll through and talk about cement mixers and how many are on site, how many are operating, how many are idling, what was expected, rain and all that. So digital input could be actually quite easy for putting it together. But at the end of the day, when you sign off and close it, if you're going to print a digital report, it's going to have to be exported into something. And this is good for data inputs, but not very good for reporting and presentation. So with a digital input, I can fill it out. It then automatically gets populated on my standard form, which is what people have been using, whether they've been doing it manually or online. It's very consistent with that. And now you've offered flexibility, but for reporting, you're probably going to want a single point of truth, which is the approved form that Setia has.
Okay.
Okay. So I mentioned that, and we will show that there's persistent notifications on mobile devices based on your teams. So in that sense, I don't really rely so much on email notifications to tell me that a workflow status has changed. But at the end of the day, there's a daily report that will go out on each project. And let's say on this particular project, I have 6 teams. Each team is going to get a daily report that's going to show the issues that are assigned to their team. Okay, so it'll give you that breakdown, and at any point you can say, okay, I want to view the 16 structure defects, or the view the site observation photos, or the mechanical electrical processes. So it's all there on a daily basis. So most times when the feedback we've got from email is that email tends not to get looked at and might be seen as spam. So if I get too many email notifications, then pretty soon maybe I stop paying attention to them quite so closely. So with RDrive, if you're part of the main contractor team and you've got 28 items assigned to you, there's 7 inspections, and the balance are issues, I can click on that, open it straight away. And if I want to clear my table, I can just open them up and edit them directly. And every time I make a change, and I'll show you this in a moment, then it gets assigned to the next team and it gets removed from your responsibility. Okay. Now this is kind of like the example of what we were talking about earlier. I probably should use this graphic for this one, and this is autofill. Okay, so in this particular case, a timber deck inspection was failed, right? And based on the definition in our demo, failed means closed. So in other words, it can no longer be edited, but it went back to the subcontractor, who straight away creates a new draft, right? So I can create a new draft, and that draft tells me it's assigned to me. I haven't submitted it yet, right? Because I have to understand why the timber deck inspection failed in the first place. So as I'm doing that, I can go into the inspection, and I can then select autofill. And Shukri can show you how autofill works. Autofill, you then go select perhaps the inspection failed inspection, and say autofill, and it'll automatically fill out all the fields. And now when I hit save, I can go edit the fields. Like, for example, I would probably edit the following works will be ready on this date. So if I open up an inspection on Monday and on Wednesday it's failed, when I open up the reinspection on Thursday, I can't say it's going to be ready for inspection on Monday. I need to say it's going to be ready for inspection either today or tomorrow. So I change the dates and I resubmit it. And then the person doing the checklist can say, okay, let's say, for example, there's 12 checklist items that were needing to be filled out, and one of them got failed. The client developer or the main contractor, whoever is the next one in the process, can likewise use autofill and autofill from the failed inspection, and then just unclick the failure and click past, and then change the workflow. So the whole idea here with autofill is it just saves a lot of time in filling out repetitive fields. So think about site diary reports. So one day to the next, the number of people and equipment and whether they're idled may not vary greatly. So you copy from the previous day and say, okay, on this particular day, we've got 2 more people that are responsible for some item and 1 less here. And we have different equipment that's idling. So I can make faster adjustments to the site diary report by using autofill. Any questions about that? Okay. The other thing we can do is pre-filled forms. And these pre-filled forms can only be done by the project administrator. But in this particular case, if this is a pre-filled form for door frame installation, I can put as a pre-filled field a description of the type of work. Say, inspect door frame to ensure opening is squared, level, etc. Right? So if I'm the one editing this form, I can write over that or I can add to it. By the same token, if the subcontractor submitting this is typically Lynn, and the main contractor is Shukri, and the consultant is Kaishan, so if I'm opening this, I can say, okay, Lynn's not opening this, I can still change it and select David. So this is just a shortcut to help the users more quickly fill out. So if 90% of the time these forms are opened up by Lynn, then by default, Lynn should not have to go in and select herself each time. Okay, and then we've got the report designer. So Shukri will show you the report designer and how it looks, but there's going to be some default designs that we provide that Setia can use. But if you want to have a different layout, you can just drag and drop any of the fields in any way to create a report that gives you a different view. So for example, if you're top management and you want to run a report on late issues or failed inspections, right? You don't care about the mini map that shows you the actual drawing and location, and you don't care about the photographs. You just want to know what it is, when it was assigned, and when the defect was found and who was involved. So as a general management report, you may want to have a more simplified, shorter view, so I can see like maybe 20 different defects per page, whereas on the project team, you may want to have more detail. You may want to have first and second photographs, and so you're happy with getting 4 pages or 4 issues per page. Okay, so before we get into the analytics, okay, so let me just share my screen. So this is what you'd experience if you were on RDrive. Let's say you're on 3 project teams within a larger development. So, and these are discrete project teams. You'll see all of them. I want to go into the construction demo. I click on that, and it gives me a very quick upload of all this. And so this is going to be much faster than SnagR. Okay, so now it's fully synchronized. I can see that it's now. If I go in again, like I showed you before, I have multiple teams. And so if I go into the client developer team, I can see that there's 4 assigned items. These are things that I need to take care of, or my team needs to take care of. I can go quality. I can see this is assigned. So I failed this inspection, and now there's a draft, right? And so if I go into issues, I can go into architectural issues. Again, this is a draft, meaning that I've captured the issue, but I haven't assigned it yet to the main contractor. So if I do this, I can't open it without the mandatory fields. So here the mandatory fields is wall painting. I can click on my camera, take a picture, okay, and now all the mandatory fields have been changed. I can open it now, okay, and now this is assigned to the main contractor, okay. So if I go now to the main contractor, if I'd shown this to you earlier, first of all, okay, so first thing, I've already sent it, but I'm not online, I'm offline. So again, I'm going to synchronize. You saw that there were 18 issues that are assigned to the team. Okay. And now you can see there's 19. There's the one I just switched from draft to open, now has been sent to the main contractor. And now I can see with the main contractor, there's all my issues, right? And if I open up an issue, again, if I want to change the workflow, or I can assign it to the subcontractor, or I can assign it. This is based on one of our other projects. We have issues that are assigned by the client developer to the main contractor, but in this particular case, the main contractor has the ability to reassign it to one of their 40 different package owners. So Setia isn't using this capability, but it could. So that's basically how auto assignment rules work and how notifications are persistent. So if I again change my team to subcontractor, I can see the subcontractor has 2 issues, and these 2 issues are in draft mode, meaning that the subcontractor is still editing it. He or she has not submitted it yet. So if I go to the site and I say, okay, this door RFI needs to be done, but I first need to go to site to verify that they're ready for this to be submitted, then I basically put this as a placekeeper. By making it draft, it's automatically assigned to me specifically. Okay. So any questions about at the browser level that I can cover right now, or I can turn it over to Shukri and he can take you through, I should say the mobile app, he can take you through some additional capabilities. Any questions at this point?
Not from me. Anything from you guys? The rest?
Okay, so let me do this. I'll stop sharing here. There we go. Okay, so Shukri, we can get into a couple other slides on the analytics, but I think we'd like to share with you a little bit about the what the migrated issues and the new issues are going to look like, and how the control points are done at the browser level. Shukri, I'll turn it over to you now.
Okay, Mr. David. So let me take over from here. Okay. So basically, what Mr. David already shown is the improvement. What Mr. David tried to show is the what improvement that RDrive can do for Setia. Okay, and not to forget also, Setia already use SnagR from 2020. Okay, so you have a data from that previous project. Okay, that data can be migrated to RDrive, and it's also a same important with new improvement. Okay, so means once you migrated, you might have still have a few data that need to be closed on site, right? And also you need to initiate new inspection. Okay, so what I try to will share here is about how it look like on the previous data migration data, and my screen right now I have 4 different tabs and each tab actually have a different theme sitting and different theme. So this one, top left is sitting as client developer, top right is sitting as main contractor, bottom left sitting at consultant team, and uh, bottom right is subcontracted. So we have 4 different teams and we have 4 different capabilities. So, okay, so so like consultant, sorry, subcontractor, they have a limited access, limited capability. Yeah, so it's different like main contractor, consultant, and also client developer. Okay, how is this look like on web? Okay, what you see here is how it look web, and this is the only thing as an end user. This is the only thing you see. You see dashboard, plan viewer, issue, process, and it's very simple. It's not crowded with more information, but it's simple layout. Okay, so as usual, you can go on the dashboard by clicking the dashboard. You can go to the plan viewer, and then you can go to the issues, whatever issues you have created, created or assigned are sitting under issues, and and also inspection, whatever inspection that is created are sitting on the process. Okay, so basically all the data you see right now, okay, let me open as a bigger one so you let me more understand. On the layout of the web here, the data here is coming from the migration data, exactly in SnagR, and this is from project Pamut 2. Okay, so whatever data you have here is data migration. Okay, you can see the data. So let's do some navigation on the drawing first. So on the plan viewer, you can go on. Oops. sorry. This is not a issue. This is web issue actually. Let me fix.
Shukri, just quick question.
Mhm.
When you say plan viewer, meaning we will see drawings, is it?
Yes, you see drawing.
And then the drawings is actually a PDF form that we have to upload inside here, or how?
Okay, this one is a migrated data. Whatever you have is set up on the SnagR, you have set up in SnagR now is migrated in RDrive with the same format, same concept. Okay, but for the drawing for new project, and then you want to set up new project, for example, right? Yes, you still need the PDF drawing.
Meaning, in order for us to see the plan just now,
Mm-hmm.
we need to upload the drawings. Then we can see all the drawings.
Yep.
Is it?
Correct.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So
But for the migrated projects, you know, when we migrate, we're going to migrate all of the drawings, all of the locations, all of the users, all of the data, all the workflow status, all of the updates. Everything's going to be there. So if you've got like 1,000 issues and 2,000 inspections that are at various states of completion, when you open that project up in RDrive, you'll be able to navigate to them in exactly the same way you did before, and you'll find everything is there and in place.
Okay, just for my understanding, right? Because I'm not a user of SnagR before, so the rest of the team, you can ask question or you can highlight, right? So meaning to say, like example, if let's say the layout that you're talking about just now is for the purpose of inspection, right? So yeah, so if let's say there's any new revision, so what we do, meaning with the new revised drawings, it will be, we need to upload again in PDF format so that the new drawing will be there. Is it like that?
Yeah, I mean, if let's say you've got a tower and you've got on the podium level, you've made substantial changes to the drawing, then the drawing that you have will have the original drawings and all the locations that you have. Maybe they have zones or grids or rooms, right? And you've made this change a year into the project, where all the there's been a number of inspections and issues. So when I replace the drawing, I replace the drawing at a substrate. So all of the locations, all of the issues and inspections are still going to be in place, even though I've removed the drawing. So the drawings are not going to be, if I replace the drawing, I'm not going to be affecting any of the issues or inspections.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So if I have, let's say, one room is I decide I'm going to divide that into 2 separate rooms. Then I put in the new drawing, and it's going to show 1 room. So I just add a location for the new room. And if I want to move some of the issues and inspections from one room to the next within RDrive, you can do that. So it doesn't happen very often. I mean, we've been doing this for, what is it, almost 9 years now. I can probably count on one hand the number of times that we've had to change drawings. But when you do change drawings, it's easy enough to do.
Okay, all right. Just to understand how it works. Okay, thank you. Carry on.
Sure.
Okay, so we proceed with the navigation. Okay, so we see the foundation, superstructure. So the gray one is a drill down, so you can go to the deeper level, right? And also you can, and the blue color here is the location. Okay, so on the location, what you see there is a sticky note. Sticky note is very represent the inspection, and the pin is represent the issues. Yes. Okay. If you click the location like this one, right? So you can see is show you one inspection. Okay, so you can view it on the location. So in this one, I'm clicking on the notepad, and in this one, I'm clicking on the location, and I can see here I have a 415 inspection on the notification. So all these are related to the site diary. Okay, so all these are migrated data. So what I try to show here, even though you already used SnagR last year, and we still have the ability to migrate the data. Okay, so that's about the migrated data. So we have migrated data for the issues and also process.
The migrated data for process is on what?
Oh,
What's inside there?
process actually is, we call it process in RDrive, but actually we can rename it as an inspection also.
The inspection forms and all that.
Yes, inspection form.
And issues is what? Meaning
Issues is defect.
Defects, yeah.
Okay, so the forms inside
all these,
process.
yeah, all of these titles, right, can be changed based on how SP Setia wants to view them. So in our demo, our Asia Headlands demo, we also break down, we change processes, we call it QA/QC. And under QA/QC, you have different categories such as, civil, structural, architectural, etc.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Setia may want to do, since you have some, I think, 64 CPCs and QA/QC processes of different categories. Right now they're all considered to be one set of RFI checklist. So you may want to say, okay, I'm gonna create a category called site daily inspections. I want to create another category called NCRs and site notices, and I want to create other categories based on trade. And so we can easily set that up, and that can be reflected not only on the new process, but all the migrated processes can be organized that way. So you can get, we have the ability through the migrated process to improve, the views of migrated data while completely preserving all of the migrated data. So we've got some 294 projects that need to be migrated. So that's a pretty daunting task, and a lot of those issues are going, and inspections are going to be open. Now the workflow is not completed. So in the migration process, we're going to do it in such a way that when we do the final migration, I should say, SnagR does the final migration, then we quickly test and validate that everything is working properly and that the users are assigned to the appropriate teams, such that we can go live with a minimum of 2 days of downtime. So we try to run the migration over the weekend. We validate it on a Sunday. On Monday, we do the test and confirmation, and we could be going live by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. And now all of the inspections and processes are in RDrive. All of the users on the projects will be enabled now on RDrive, and a notice can be sent out to Setia's users that as of Tuesday or Wednesday, all new issues and all updates on all issues need to be done on RDrive. So there's a fair amount of work on our side to orchestrate, to make all this happen seamlessly. But I'm just letting you know that we're going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, so it'll have minimal disruption to Setia.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, now we back to the screen. Okay, so we want to see the difference between the team. Okay, so in this case we can look on the team. Okay, and then we go to the project overview. Okay, so on project overview, every team can see all the project overview. And you can see the title, the total items 118, and then this is a main contractor is 804, right? And then this is consultant. Okay, normally the permission for client developer, which is Setia, and also consultant will be the same. Okay, but the in term of assignment will be different. Okay, you can see total item and meaning for subcontractor at the bottom here there is a limitation on what they are able to see and what they are able to access. Okay, based on the permission itself, right? So based on the permission of the team, okay, the what you permit to do, okay, like we look at the basic of the process for your inspection, right? We look back to your basic inspection. Is initiated by whom? Okay, initiated by whom? Most likely the initiation of inspection by Setia is from the main contractor manager. There, so you state that one a main contractor manager that only handle inspection, and also we have contractor supervisor that handling a defect. Right, Nazrul? I believe that's the way. And this is we when we migrate, this is we set up for it. So means we split into four group. Any team, any user as a contractor supervisor, we sit as a subcontractor, and whoever contractor manager, we sit on the contractor team. So you have a different process on each team. Okay, so to show you how it's work on the assignment, right? I would like to start with the defect that we have from subcontractor. Okay, so from subcontractor, you see they have 115 assignment assigned to your team under subcontractor, and out of 15, only 3 defect right now, only 3 defect assigned, and the rest is the process. Okay, so we go to the issues. Okay, issues we open, and we have 3 issues open under subcontractor. So as subcontractor, they can open. Okay, this can be done both way by for editing the defect. You can edit by mobile apps and also by web. Okay, so in this case, we click on this menu, click on edit. Okay, so this is the open item. So this is the only item, the only field that need to be edited by subcontractor, because the first initiation, so you can click on the eyes, right? Okay, let me open this one. Okay, so when I open the eyes, so you can see all this data are filled up by initiator. So in this case, they're created by consultant. So consultant can create the defect, but the final closure for the defect still client developer, which is Setia. Even though it's created by consultant, but it's need to be closed by consultant. So same goes to client developer. If client developer Setia creating the defect, the final for consultant, they only go up to sign off only. So in this case, this case is subcontractor. So as a subcontractor, I just fill up this information. The only field that I need to create is a response photo 1 and response photo. So I just update photo A example. So this one done. And then I change from status from open fixed. Okay, for subcontractor, they have a limit number of change workflow. Same goes to the other team. Okay, so in this case, subcontractor have the ability to change its fix, not me or not the defect. So in this case, I change to fix. Okay, so every time the status change here, there is an assignment working at background. Okay, so that's based on our configuration. Every time you change the status, there is an assignment working this or to this form. Okay, currently it's assigned to subcontractor. When I click OK, right, then it's assigned to next team. It's assigned to in this case consultant. In this case consultant. So to check the record is assigned or not, you can see here. So now it's consultant. It's created by consultant. First created consultant and assigned to consultant. After consultant change the workflow to open, it assigned to subcontractor. And after subcontractor change the status to fixed. Now it's assigned to consultant. Okay, now we hold this one. Hold this one and we look at the consultant level. So on the consultant level, they can check on the issues. Work C6. Okay, so now this one is assigned to consultant. Right, assigned to consultant, and I can edit, and now same. So we have another response photo. So in this situation, we have 3 photo. One, initiate photo. Second, fixed photo. Number 2, the number 2 photo is optional. Is it necessary for consultant to fix it, to add it or not? Is depends on this configuration. So in this situation, I just leave it blank because I agree. So I can see this up to sign off only. Up to sign off. So I can click on sign off and then click OK. And now after sign off, it assigned to consultant. Oh, sorry, this one. Yep. Assigned to consultant. And final closure is by client developer. So as a client developer, they can go to this defect and they can go to the defect and they can close it. And final one, we go to the issues, sign off, okay, and then under sign. Okay, sign off. Okay, and the final closure is from. Okay, so now there is cycle of the process. So means this is the process of the template. So from the defect, for the defect itself. Okay. So, and for the default, there is no PDF required. This is a totally digital format. Okay, by default, we have 9 items to fill out. We have 9 items to fill out. Okay, if you click on the eyes, you can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Oh, sorry, 10. Okay, so by default, this is the item. But if you have one more field to be added, yes, it's still customizable. On RDrive is customizable. Okay, so any question on the defect at the moment?
Just now you show based on web, right? So
Yes.
if let's say they do from phone, is it still possible?
Yep, still possible.
Yep.
And they can see all the things inside there, right?
Yep, correct.
Similar. Okay.
Yep. And just want to show you the control point of this one. For example, this one as a subcontractor earlier, the change fixed, right? Okay. Maybe we can go on the issues and see all the issues, and so totally they can see issues. And this one something that has been fixed by subcontractor, for example, right? They cannot edit or change the status. This means this no longer belong to subcontractor. They can view it, but they cannot edit it. So this process also similar to the inspection.
Yeah. Yeah, so they, as we mentioned, they can view it, but if they let's say you want to ask a question, you're able to comment. Yeah. Maybe you want to send a comment to the people who are assigned to take the next step, and say, "Can you check and close this?" Right, and yep. So then that notice gets sent, so we can go in and add a comment. Okay.
Yep.
So these at the browser level, Browsers tend to be very good for looking at summary data. It's very good for creating draft RFIs, for example. If I know that I'm going to be requesting 20 inspections, maybe through the browser, I might want to just go ahead and navigate and pre-open and keep them in draft mode. By keeping those 20 inspections or RFIs in draft mode, that's a reminder to me that I need to complete and submit those to the person doing the inspection this week. So the person who is going to be doing the inspection isn't going to be seeing your 20 drafts until those drafts are converted into submitted or opened, and then the workflow gets enforced.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Is that all?
yeah, Shukri, maybe you could show the dashboard and how the dashboards work for both new and existing issues, or I could show the slides, but maybe you could show the dashboards.
Okay, Ken. Okay.
So while he's doing that, we've got two dashboards. Maybe show the Asia Headlands dashboard based on the old original dashboard, which enables you to look at the status by category, type, and description, and workflow status.
Okay, Ken, Ken. Okay, what you see here is the new dashboard on RDrive. Okay, this is a new dashboard on RDrive, and I want to show that we have another dashboard that we can load to our dashboard. So, okay, so this is our demo site. Okay, this is our demo site, and this is our RDrive. Sorry, okay. So,
I think, yeah, you can just click on that.
Yep. Oh, it's reset. Yeah, it's reset my page. Okay.
From a technical perspective, the new dashboard is zero latency. The older dashboard is with Power BI. So from a project perspective, they're both loading automatically on either the browser or the dashboard. But the new dashboard is just going to load faster. That's all.
Yeah. Maybe for temporary, you can show on the slide, Mr. David, while I open it.
I'll do that. Okay. To be what we call the dashboard version 5.0. This is what has been available in RDrive for a while. Excuse the jumbled text on the side, but basically what this does is allows you to pick category, subcategory, and type. So here, what we're showing is I'm looking at QA, QC. I can drill down and I can see the item, and then I can see the issue. If it's an inspection, if there's an inspection that has, here's the RFI for setting out, and it's got, form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll be able to look at this dashboard and see which of these forms are closed and which ones are still open. And then you'll be able to click on the hyperlink to go in. So if I have setting out, if the first one has been closed, passed, and now I'm on the second one, I can click on the field that says this is now open. I can click on that and open it up directly. The new dashboard is based on iframe. It dynamically fits to the user screen if you're using a mobile device or if you're using a browser. So that's a positive. It gives real-time access and refreshing. So of course you have to be online at least momentarily to get this. And then you can see all your project categories, and you can see color-coded status. If I click on one for site diary, it will show me the site diary, and then I can also use the search window. The search window will let me navigate to whatever I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for setting out inspections, I can type in setting out and it will show me those setting out. If I want to see setting out open, it will show me all these setting outs. And like a lot of more modern apps, it'll allow you to add bookmarks. So if you're responsible for electrical and mechanical issues, you can save those as bookmarks on either your mobile device or on your browser. Okay. And so we could probably spend some more time on this, but I just wanted to, in the interest of time, we're going to give this as a background, right? So we're going to revise the Setia inspections as single multi-page RFI inspections as opposed to forms. The forward-only workflow is going to ensure process compliant because the users at any stage can only edit once at a time, and when they change the workflow, it's automatically assigned and notification is received. So conditional editing is forced at the field level. We showed that the process can be shared by two people who aren't part of the team, and they have the ability to see but not edit, and they can make their comments back. And so we showed autofill and pre-fill, and what we haven't shown and what we could show separately is the reporting. But essentially, these are the design limitations that we're going to be overcome, with the new version. So right now, changing to closed is a manual process. That's true in SnagR. And but when we have forward-only workflows, closing is going to be an automated process based on the next stage or the final stage of the workflow. Okay, we're restricting edits based on conditional editing, and by allowing you to fail an inspection and reopen an inspection, they keep the same ID number, and the reason for failure and the total record of the total workflow is changed. Okay, so this is just a summary. I think maybe is it Elite? You have to drop in a few minutes.
Yeah, never mind. We can. This is the last slide, is it?
Well, the last slide is actually this, right? So we've spent many hours on this, analyzing SP Setia's pre-BP processes and SnagR implementations. We already know your workflows and how your people are working, because it's evident based on the meetings and support and what we can see. So, but what we need to do is we need to actually sit down and confirm the use cases for migrated new issues and processes that are going to be set up in RDrive. We need to jointly inspect the migrated process to validate the issues and the RFIs and site diaries to make sure they are working exactly as they need to work. And then we need to kind of go over the consultants, client developers, the main contractors, subcontractors, to validate these are the teams and these are the permissions based on issues and processes, and confirm what is going to be allowed to be edited at every workflow stage. So once we understand this and we have an agreement, subject to final testing and validation, we need to go off then and modify these new inspections to conform with what your team expects to see. So it's not one of those situations where we can do a couple of these and then we pass it over to your team and you simply try to complete the rest. Given the enormity of SP Setia's projects, of 294 projects, and the need to get you up and running as quickly as possible, we're going to have to take extra effort to make sure that everything is set up correctly. And once we do that, so for example, we have a migration tool that is being developed by SnagR specifically for SP Setia to allow us to migrate all the data and through the API be able to access the users and assign them to the correct team on a project by project basis, right? We're going to do that for Setia. We're going to do that so the project admins, the only thing the project admins will need to do is they should probably take a final check to make sure that the users are in the correct team, which should be 99% correct. And then when the time comes, they simply need to just issue passwords in bulk to everybody on the team and send a note that you're now to use RDrive. So
Okay.
this,
Yeah, let us review first before you do anything. And then because now after this, based on what you have shown us before from the slides, we will have an internal discussions and all that. Because now the team is actually looking at the whole processes internally. So I think this will affect not only you, but any other, system and things like that. But anyhow, we will come back to you on this one. Yeah.
Yep. And
Okay.
what we'll do as a final note to close conversation, we are going to send you a PDF of the inspection that we showed that had a rejected inspection and a reopened inspection. And we're going to show what a sample report would look like. And the sample report will allow you to attach any type of document. I can even attach a video, I can attach a CAD drawing. But if it's in PDF form, it can be merged as a single document. So you could have an RFI with checklist inspections and photo pages and issues, and they can all be merged. So you could take what was let's say a 5-page inspection could be now 20 pages as a single PDF. And anything that can't be merged, like a video or a CAD drawing or Excel spreadsheet, because they're going to be kept in the same format, it's going to be kept in a folder, in a zip folder contained with the inspection itself. So the person receiving it will see everything nice and neat in a folder. So,
Okay.
so maybe we'll add that slide to describe how that works. And then we'll send this deck and of course, the recording and the transcript of this call.
Okay, thank you, David. All right, guys, I think because I need to leave already, thank you so much for the time, David, for explaining to the team. Just one question, if anyone want to say anything or to ask question, otherwise you can actually still communicate through email after this. Yeah? Okay, if no one, then I think that's it, David, for today. Yeah, thanks for your presentation.